What is happening there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are going to watch today Andor Season 1, Episode 5 today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can go ahead and use the force to leave a like, that'd be very much appreciated. Also, special thank you to all who have joined our Patreon page and become Super Sexy Rejects over there. If you sync up with your own copy for Andor, watch along with us, the full-length reaction. And we cover many shows over there exclusively with the same tier. You get the option for reaction highlights and watch-alongs included. Without further ado, let's swing into action. Don't worry, you'll be out there soon.
You're slouching.
Star Wars cereal.
Put blue milk on top.
You might as well wear a sign that says, I promise to disappoint you.
Jesus.
Shame we couldn't have seen more of each other when you were flourishing.
Jesus.
And you never call.
Do you have even a single prospect before you?
We'll find a way.
Hope.
What is it you'll be asking for?
Someone who'll take you on, Syril. Uncle Harlow will know what's best.
You work for the mob now.
So he's not trying to satisfy the Empire. He's looking for validation from his mom.
He's a mama's boy.
It's all there. Bill asked me to have a look.
Oh, that sucks.
You know what this means, don't you? Yeah, I saw your eyes go right to it.
I was looking at his nipple.
They built a lot of cages, huh? The axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
Damn, that's a good saying.
Get that tattooed.
Nemec's a surprise, and there's Cinta Koss. She is stone cold and fearless.
Possible love interest.
And the kid's gonna die.
I'm here to win and walk away.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
So much to learn, my child.
We need to be going.
Oh, change in plan. Dad's taking me. I don't have early class today.
Get your coat. It's not up for discussion.
Are you serious? Go, you're off the hook.
She wants to take you.
The driver's waiting. I've planned on this and we're going.
You're only doing it to show off.
Ouch.
What would I be showing off?
You're involved somehow.
Mother of the Year.
Oh my God.
It's always all about you.
Is this really how you'd like to start the day?
I didn't choose this conversation.
Tensions are high in the Mothma household.
I so appreciate the support.
Yeah, way to back your woman.
Nemec sees oppression everywhere.
Skeen pretends not to listen, but I know the message is sinking in. Pace of oppression outstrips our ability to understand it, and that is the real trick of the Imperial thought machine. It's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident. Our elemental rights are such a simple thing to hold, they will have to shake the galaxy awfully hard to loosen our grip.
Oh, damn.
Dude.
You're starting to inspire Clem.
Fight for, not against.
I haven't titled it yet, I've been waiting. It's a work in progress, and I know that there's a great deal left to say.
I call it A New Hope.
Busy day, Clem. Finish your milk.
I feel like I should be taking notes right now.
It's a track launch, so there's an adjusted thrust ratio to make it up the ramp.
How would I know the weight? Is this a test?
It's a simple question.
And yes.
There's a load clutch. There's a gauge. Just below. What were you gonna do if I wasn't here? I'll pilot.
No, you'll do as you're told.
I'm flying it. We can say it's your idea. I don't care, but if it's my ass on the line, I'm pulling this thing out of there.
Andor.
You just earned your spot on the team.
Target practice.
Everybody in the Empire needs it.
Shoulders back. More.
Don't touch me. If you want something, you tell me.
Can you walk like a soldier?
Now grab Andor's ass.
Do we have an HR department?
Could I be made prefect? The title, I know it doesn't come with extra pay. Just get this up and running before my next staff meeting.
Are they sleeping together?
I hope so.
Kind of get the vibe that they are.
It's going to be a real rough one in bed tonight.
Let's walk it again.
You should switch.
What?
Why switch sides?
Skin is left-handed. You want your weapon on the outside.
What am I?
Right-handed.
Center?
Right.
Nemec.
Favors right, but shoots left.
Oh, him fast Hansen.
Observant.
Let's switch.
The teacher becomes the student.
Wait!
Oh, shit. That is terrifying.
He's gone.
I don't think so.
Just one TIE fighter. God damn.
So ominous, so like sky sharks. Wow!
You actually feel that.
Yeah.
You messed up his hair.
They'll soon see. Surprise from above is never as shocking as one from below.
I hope you don't die.
Yeah, I was about to say. I like you, man.
That's right to this shit. Like, not even reactive towards it.
Yeah.
Not too many Darnies to worry about anymore, though, eh?
It's less than 100 last time.
Still enough to smell him, right?
It's my dude from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Get about your business, Corporal. I'll be making rounds tomorrow night, and I expect you at your station.
Sir, yes, sir.
Something more to this Gorn. More Gorn.
More. More in the Gorn, Andor.
Stop.
Nation.
Nate. It's hard.
I guess the movie The 13th Warrior kind of give vibes for that. Should he be wearing that around his neck?
It'll be fine. No one's gonna notice. Incredibly powerful kyber crystal.
If I was them, this is how I'd do it. I'd spread it out, never climb the same fence twice.
It's too random to be random.
2 more files each.
Damn, I'm not supposed to like them.
I hope you catch Andor, man.
Let's cancel this show early. Or maybe that's how she'd do it, because eventually she's gonna help do it.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Salute.
What is that language you're speaking?
Stay focused, Clem.
Yeah, don't get distracted by the water.
The rebellion.
Man, the build-up to this one mission.
Love that shot to the rebellion. Just a few people around a fire.
It's crazy. This group's been waiting for months to act.
How wrong you were about Uncle Harlow.
Still eating cereal.
Perhaps you'll study Uncle Harlow with more energy in the future.
What field is it he thinks I should be pursuing?
He said he wanted to think about it.
He's gonna strangle his mom.
He's gonna kill her and become Norman Bates.
I stressed that it was a large enough mistake to be deeply educational.
Yes, I heard some of that.
Our conversation.
Your side of it? Hard to miss.
This is the most relatable thing Star Wars has ever done.
You know? Corporate officers and the Imperials, they're people too.
Lieutenant Gorn, what's an Imperial lieutenant doing getting involved with this?
What difference does it make?
So Gorn is on their side.
Fell in love with a local woman, lost a promotion. Then he lost the woman. Then he lost his taste for the Empire.
Love. Always getting in the way of goals.
And evil, totalitarian governments. Wow.
The mines of Moria.
He dug too deep.
The thing you hear when posted to Aldani is that perhaps you'll be lucky enough to be there for the eye. But I fear morale might be crushed by having anything more than an essential roster down here tomorrow night.
Uh-oh.
I want it painted the day after tomorrow. I'll be here midday, and I expect to see it shine. Make sure the men know how close they've come.
You know what, Gorn, you're all right. Although that sensitivity might bite you in the ass. This really is a beautiful looking show.
Absolutely. Great landscapes. Rings of Power's just around the corner.
Don't move. Because you know what'll happen. There we go.
Great.
He won't say why he's here, where he's from. He doesn't say what he believes in, and now this? Who brings a treasure to a robbery?
I just want what's mine.
Everyone stands down. Everyone!
There's something coming. There's a ship in the valley.
Jeez, this is a mess.
I'm being paid. Paid to be here.
Wow.
Dang.
That's what it is. I don't want to walk in looking over my shoulder.
You knew this.
The choice was take him or call it off.
It just would have been something else.
What's that mean?
The day before is always hard.
Maybe you're the one that's afraid.
Of course I'm afraid. But there's a difference between fear and losing your nerve. Make a choice. Don't use me as an excuse.
Ooh. Nicely done, Andor.
Let's get to the camp in one piece. You can all chew on it there. All of you.
Oh no. Shaking the man with the ideologies and the beliefs. No.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
To aspire
Andor.
for. Oh, sweet. Mothma family tensions.
When were you planning to tell me about this new foundation?
Didn't think you'd be interested.
Why is that?
It's charitable.
You're right.
I do not give a shit about that.
Wow, what a Blade Runner vibe.
And then meanwhile, in the complete opposite setting. Syril finally finished his cereal.
Syril?
Syril?
Purpose. To find the PS2 version of Andor.
I will find him.
She wants me to tell you about my brother. What matters is they killed him. Imperial prefect came in, took his land, flooded it. He couldn't bear it, so he went a boat and filled his pockets with stones.
Oh my God.
I always hated the Empire. I don't really know what to call how I feel now.
So he's doing it for money too.
That's right. I was supposed to inherit that farm.
That's as close to an apology as you're gonna get.
It's close enough.
You gotta pay me if you want an apology, though.
Taramin's in charge now. I need to know you understand that.
Where will you be?
If all goes well, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Ooh. I have a prediction about what they might do for the future episode. Prediction, they'll do the mission. No. No.
And they'll just scrape by.
Luthen.
You listening for?
There's nothing coming through tonight. They're either going to be okay out there or they're not.
What? That's a daring prediction.
It's never going to be perfect.
Wanted it too much.
Oh man, don't have doubts now.
It'll all be over this time tomorrow.
Or will it just be starting?
That's the spirit. Hey, it's the Hellraiser box.
Well done.
Cool.
Gilroy family projecting their parental problems onto characters like Syril and Mon Mothma.
Those Hollywood Gilroys.
All right, let's talk about it. Right, another solid episode of Andor. Back at it again. Yeah, I thought this was great. I loved seeing every little bit of progression because it shows so much about the details and just going into a little bit of more of a microscopic level of what the characters are going through and exploring the pain and harrowing nature of every one of these people. And you can just get that with everyone all around. You know, I love the suspicion at the camp of Andor that everyone's distrust is, but also the way they weave in and out. There's like a bobbing and weaving here of, I don't know if I could trust this guy, but damn, once in a while this guy gives good advice. All that shit about the which gun hold and who should stand where. That was all really smart. You know?
You seem to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like, he knows how to do the thing with the ship. Okay, yeah, what would they do without him? It seems like he's necessary, so it makes sense that they wouldn't just abandon the guy. So I really think that what they flesh it out to, and how at the end of the day, like, the truth hurts.
Yeah.
To find out, like, oh, he's not even here because he believes in the cause.
He doesn't even care.
Homie's just getting paid. But who's the guy who's all about the word?
Nemec, I believe is his name.
Yeah, Nemec. Wow, you really just pulled that name, didn't you? It's not even on screen. No, it is on screen. You act like you just pulled that name.
His name stood out because I was sitting there doing my John thing, going, I know this guy from somewhere. So like, and he was in the Black Mirror episode as the kid who had to rob the bank.
Never saw that episode.
Oh, well, never mind. It's a good one though. It's a famous episode. Anyway, Nemec, he's the one, who really believes and has the gadgets.
But I believe Nemec can see that we know there's more to Andor than the money. We know he's going to end up fighting for real for the rebellion. But it is kind of like that classic trope, like assassin or thief hired. But then at the end of the day, might not even accept the money.
Yeah. They'll give the money to the great to further the cause of the rebellion.
Yeah, there's something bigger. And I like seeing the progression of how he went from the man who was hardened, who pushed away the feeling of caring. But we know that underneath that, he really does care. He's not going to learn something and be like, you know what, I care. It's going to be something that pulls it out of him, and we're watching that pull happening. Like there's more to why he's here than just that. And the way they flesh out the camp characters are well done. It's really easy for everyone to feel one note, but I feel like everyone's got a distinct personality. And I think the way they write them is all really well done. But let's face it, the real highlight is Syril and his mom, Edie. They are the big talk of the town.
Oh, dude, they spent an entire night eating cereal together. They went from night into day with that cereal bowl.
Which I think was Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Captain Crunch.
Hey, he was
just
the berries. He was a famous general of the Empire, Captain Crunch. He's an Empire hero.
Lieutenant Crunch.
Lord Crunch. No, the roof of my mouth.
Yeah, they look like Captain Crunch berries.
Yeah, they did. Especially with the blue milk.
And I loved just how well fleshed out they are doing with Syril, because it's so relatable. Like there's this guy who's put he just wants to matter. He wants to feel important and accepted. And it's all got all this like family shit that he's had to deal with from this judgmental, unapproving mother of his, who's just always made him feel less than. Everything he's had to try to, and it's like he's forced into, he's got no other choice, but he's got to move back in with his mom, his emotionally abusive mom.
Yeah.
And you see why he is the way she is without them having to do like a whole bunch of backstory. Just watch them interact for 5 minutes, and you'll see.
I
this
love
bitch is
that.
messed up.
Yeah, no, like, and especially for a character who started out in his position, I do think it's like a very pointed thing they're doing of going like, no, we're gonna spend time with who this guy is and why. And I'm sure, he's got the fire. He's staring at the hologram of, de-aged Andor, and he's, gonna, try and probably do something rash in order to fix this. But at the same time, it's like, I love that at least up until now, all we've seen is this guy like try to do his best and just get stripped down further and further by everyone around him.
Yeah, because every action he's doing is going, will Mom approve of me now? Now will she approve of me?
Have I distinguished myself enough?
Have I become important enough now for you to notice me, Mom?
And for Uncle, what's his name to know? Uncle Harlow to notice me?
Yeah, it's like you can see why he puts all his focus into this whole thing with Andor. Even now, he's just like, this could have been my shot when he's looking at the hologram. This could have been my chance to prove myself. I thought it was really well fleshed out. Felt very human. Feels very East Coast.
It absolutely does. And
British or New York.
Yeah.
Or Boston, too, yeah.
Some of the gruffest places to set your movie and/or show. It's perfect.
I think it's great.
But yeah, no, I love that choice, and to see how like the sterile lifestyle complements what then becomes the sterile empire, duties and actions and things like that. Like it's I feel like this show has done like a really wonderful job at putting character elements where you wouldn't expect them, and then really using them to bolster the story.
Well, yeah, and they're also showing how they have to become a unit, and that a big part of what can help this unit on this mission is a unified sense of trust and belief within each other. It's kind of like they're doing a 3-act structure with this heist mission. The first one is like the recruitment, getting to know our players, getting an idea of what it is. The second episode is planning, leading right before it goes down. And the third one is going to be the ultimate mission, where I imagine like all things start to come together, like with blonde British ISB officer whose name I don't know. Come on, John, pull it out. Acting like you know it off the top of your head.
Page. It's on the IMDb page here, and her name is Dedra Nero.
Yeah,
I pulled out of thin air.
because like what they're saying, at the end with Luthen, when he's talking with his boss.
This is his associate.
His Sonam Obsession. That's what Conan O'Brien
Matt
fans.
Gorley's in the back. Yeah, he's on the radio trying to fix the radio.
But as he's talking with her, it's ending with she's like, it all ends tomorrow or starts. And so this mission isn't going to go smoothly, and it's going to open up a can of worms.
Yes.
And also be telling like, oh man, she was onto something. Yeah, the rebellion's happening.
Yeah, totally.
And so it's going to open up that door. Maybe Andor's face will be noticed, and then Syril's going to be like, I knew it! Mom! I told you I was right! I will bring him down to justice, and I will be lauded throughout the Empire!
And then finally Uncle Harlow will back off.
And then it seems like a big divide that's happening when Mon Mothma and her hubby... is
whole family unit suffering.
He doesn't seem like he gonna be down for the rebellion.
He seems like a terrible guy. I'm like, how did you end up together at all?
Yeah.
Because, that whole thing, I love that bit about, like, I didn't tell you because it's charitable. I didn't think you'd care. And he's like, it really did feel in that scene like he was like, oh, yeah, fair enough. I'm not really that caring or altruistic of a person, I guess.
Smug asshole, that guy.
Yeah, he totally just oozes empirical, status and ick.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of wish this was a binge show, weirdly.
I know, like, each one absolutely makes me want to watch the next one, and what I feel like may be happening. And I wonder if this is what you were talking about. At one point, you said you had, like, a prediction of what they might do. And then you mentioned here moments ago this sort of, like, feeling like the 3-act structure of the mission, and we had the first 3 episodes being this sort of, big kickoff into, his tangling with the rebellion and whatnot. I wonder if, across these 12 episodes of the first season, if you'll have clusters of 3, and maybe you might have characters actually die or have the stakes raise, in that you will see multiple like ensembles of the resistance over the course or something like that.
I imagine what I was thinking what they might do is, because they didn't at all show us what
Vel, the lady who's leading their unit.
And Cinta.
Yes.
Played by Verada Sithu.
Dude.
Off the top of my head.
You are so good at names.
There's just a big white screen in front of me for no reason.
It's a bounce board.
But they didn't show us at all what they're going to be doing. And they made an active point to be like, what are you two doing?
Multiple times.
Don't worry about that.
It's always
shut up.
You guys are all going to be here, and you guys are marching, and we're over here.
Like, good luck.
Don't worry about it.
Good luck on your mission.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you?
So I
thought you were with us.
I wonder, instead of cutting back and forth between what they're doing and what Andor's crew is doing, is if we'll have one episode dedicated to what the men are doing,
and then
another episode kind of dedicated, like kind of messing with time. Like maybe it's that thing where, oh no, looks like they're cutting the point.
Oh no.
And then we go to the next episode, and then we see it's the women doing their thing, and that episode ends with them getting the men out of the bind.
And then it turns out,
I mean, my cinema expectation is really high. If they don't do it, I'm going to be disappointed. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Yeah. If Andor shows up in the next 2 episodes consecutively, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah. That's my little prediction. But, they are humanizing the shit out of Mon Mothma.
Out of everybody, but
barely
yes.
talking rebellion stuff.
Well, and I love
Just showing up and dealing with their freaking at-home drama.
I'm fascinated and really enwrapped in what they're choosing to focus on. But every time, they cut around. It's like you have the Andor storyline, which is kind of what you expect in that, he's being thrown into intrigue and into operations, and there's high stakes. The one guy even says the stakes are high. Skeen, I think I did pull that name. Is he on this page? I can't pull it.
Skeen, the guy from the Girls show.
Oh, is he on Girls?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was
your buddy.
banging the woman from Get Out.
Oh yes.
What's the woman from Get Out?
It's another name. Is
Allison? No.
Maybe Michelle something. Allison.
No. Did you interview her?
Yeah, no, I did Jordan Peele, and I did them together. I did her and Daniel Kaluuya. Damn, I should remember. Oh, I feel so bad now. They were cool.
I'm sending her this portion. We're friends.
No, thank you for shaming me to my soon-to-be ex-friend.
Yeah. He was on that show, I believe.
Okay, yeah. But he even says that thing about like the stakes are high. And then you cut to, other characters who are in pertinent positions and in pertinent situations. And, you have Luthen, fretting over the mission. But yeah, when you cut to Syril and you cut to Mon Mothma, like both of their stories and both of their scenes and moments are much smaller and more, I feel like, deliberately placed. And they could feel random. And I feel like yet each one contributes to their characters, and while they don't obviously progress the main plot of their involvement, with the stakes, with everything Andor's dealing with, I don't know, they still feel vital and they're insightful moments. And I mean, for Mon Mothma, I'm sure this personal wedge is going to play a big part in her overall, real cresting into being a figure in the rebellion.
Well, I feel like there are elements of this that deal a lot with sacrifice. And it looks like she's going to be sacrificing being a mom and wife.
Her shitty husband and shitty daughter.
Yeah. It's hard leaving my husband, but my daughter, easy.
Yeah, man. She doesn't want to lift to school. Can't even hang out with mom for 10 minutes.
So yeah, you have that, and I think this is really capitalizing on the sacrifice and the toll that it took for these individuals to everything they had to give up for this real life war.
That's it. I feel like it's what's this life like for everybody.
Yeah,
is how it feels in a really nice way.
Which I think is great, and with that character Nemec, I think is really interesting because sometimes you get these hokey speeches in Star Wars that just feel cheesy as shit.
Hope. Yeah.
And you do forget that a lot of times in movements, there's when I think about I'm gonna correlate Star Wars to the civil rights movement. Here I go.
There's no crossover there.
Sometimes Malcolm X and Martin Luther were at odds with each other because Malcolm X would encourage,
was more
fight
radical.
back.
Yeah. They won't understand peaceful diplomacy. We got to take action to show we're serious.
Where Martin Luther King was very much about no violence, spread the good word though.
Yeah.
And
Lead by
this is a very basic version of the two of them. And it's when he was demonstrating is the thing that we always see in Star Wars, which is rebellion, fight, figure shit out. Even Rogue One, just it's about fighting. And there's the other side of it but how do you move people to belief other than just taking action? How do you change philosophy? How do you inspire beyond just action? What can you communicate? What can you pass on? And I don't know if they're going to do anything with it, but it's a nice sentiment that I think would be cool to have.
Yeah, and I like the way they exemplified that through the character of Gorn, because when you're watching him walk around at first. You know, he very much comes across the part, and then when you learn why and how he...
I had my suspicions.
Oh, sure. No, you called it. But at the same time, I feel like he plays the role well, but of, you know, like there are Imperial defectors and characters, who come in clutch and who are secretly double agenting for the rebellion, but this was one of the times where I feel like it felt the most vital, and it felt the most like... Instead of just needing to have that kind of character in this kind of story, it felt like, oh, I can actually see why somebody's dedication and vocation and conviction might change in this big old structure. And yeah, I don't know. It gives a fascinating flavor to all this, because I feel like it's right at home in Star Wars, but it really does make everything a lot more gray and a lot more muddy, because we are so used to being like, yeah, most all the Imperials like have the same exact mindset, and they don't have any other life other than this. And yeah, that whole thing with his brother and all that, and just like losing the taste for the Empire. It's like, even though that is like an info dump, it still like reads very human.
Yeah, but they did a good job uncovering the info dump.
Yeah, no, they do. I'm saying
she was like,
it's good stuff.
She wants me to tell you about my brother. Look, the only important part is he was killed. And then here's a little bit of information. I'm like, I was actually taking notes. My writing brain was like, clever way to get away with just flat out exposition.
Yeah. No, those Gilroys, man, they're very conscientious. They're very smart writers.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, I really like this. I liked it more than the last one. It really feel that, like, the chapters of, it feels like it's a show like split up every 3 episodes
or
like,
something.
That's what it seems like. There's a new specific chapter every 3 episodes.
It's like comics, and each 3 is a new arc.
Yeah, that's what it's, at least is the impression I'm sort of getting. But guys, leave your thoughts down below. What did you think of this episode? Subscribe, click that bell, leave a like. Hey, let's end this with a Patron. Andrew Hayes. Look, Andrew, if we were to pull off a heist.
Oh.
If you didn't watch this episode of Andor, it's the only heist. If we were to pull off a heist, you'd be the guy I want to go in there. Because, A, you could be that high personality, loud, distracting guy who can cause a scene.
Yes,
First
diversion.
off, that would be a great thing to be. Secondly, if we need to, like, maybe crawl through a vent, you are the perfect guy to send in there as well.
Or a garbage compactor.
Third, climb a rope, climb down a rope or something like that, or whatever that thing is called, where you hook it around your belt, your hip, and then you
like some kind of,
what's it called? Like glide. You know what I'm talking about? It's in every heist movie.
Yeah, one of those. It's like a zip line, but it only goes up and down.
Yeah. You'd be perfect weight compatibility for such an obstacle that you have to do. And also, if we need to run and get away, I get the impression you're a fast little shit. So I can imagine that you would be right there charging. And on top of that, if we need some strength, tackle down some security guards coming our way, boom, you're the guy.
Dude.
So Andrew Hayes, you would pave the ways for us to pull off a heist for monies.
And light sabes.
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, we tied it in.
Star
All
Wars
right,
things.
yeah, cool. Thanks, Andrew, for being here for like 14 years, man. You've been here a long time.
Grown up with us, Andrew.
Thank you, dude.
Buddy.